Hi. So today is a very special day. And because it's a very special day, I'm going to be telling a very special story, a true life story. Now, the story is actually in the second part of this video. So because it's in the second part of the video, I need to explain the context, what led to the story. Something happened that led to the story. So please just follow this first part very closely so that you'll be able to understand the second part, which is the crux of the matter. So this was what happened. It's a real life incident. It's really happened. I want you to follow it closely. Say it like this. So there was this guy, this very hard-working guy, was working under a king. And then this guy was so uniquely dedicated to his work that even the king had, had to promote him as like the general manager of all other workers. That was how hardworking the guy was. Now, as time went on, this king's wisdom and maybe success, because even the king himself was a very wise guy, celebrated worldwide. And then, so his king, the wisdom of the guy got into his head and his celebration, and he fell out with God. Thereafter, God now instructed a prophet, to ordain this dedicated worker guy as the new king. So the prophet came and ordained dedicated guy as the new king and explained to him that he will be the one to take over the kingdom, that the kingdom will be turned away from the former king. The kingdom has like 12 states in it, and said it's going to be 10 of the states will be turned away. And so the prophet was in the dress as to show the prophet, the king, the dedicated worker that is going to become a king, an analogy of what's going to happen, and that 10 of the states will be turned away from that former king, and he will have 10, and the remaining 2 will remain with the guy. Now, immediately the king heard about it, that they are going to ordain the new guy as the king. The king was very angry. And so what did the king do? The king tried to kill this dedicated worker guy, So he tried to kill the guy, and the guy had to run. The king planned an assassination against the guy, and the guy had to bail. He ran out to another nation, to another place. So after some years, the king died. When the king died, his son took over the kingdom and then took over the leadership. When the son took over the leadership, the son was not even better than his father. The son was not better than his father. In fact, the son was even worse than his father. So because the son was worse than the father, like God had spoken earlier, the people of the land now rebelled against the son, and something like a revolution happened. It was as though everybody came out and they were against the guy, as in the former king, and like a revolution and riot happened. And like God had said earlier, 10/12 of the kingdom was given to this, new guy. But as human nature as it was, when this new guy, this dedicated worker that was a good guy before, took over leadership, he began to strategize, so that people's loyalty will remain with him. What did he do? He knew that there were rules associated with worshiping God, the same God that had chosen him as king. And that these rules entail that the worship of God must be done in a particular place, under the control of particular set of people. They were the ones that were supposed to anchor it, and then the place that they were supposed to go for that worship was in one of the 12 states that was still under the former king. So and he felt that if people had to go back to that place, then they might reconsider the alliance, the allegiance they have to him, and form an alliance back with that other king. So what did he do? In his wisdom, he erected a godlike image in his own domain and instructed that the people of the nation, they should worship that particular god. And so now this is where the story really begins. So please, I did this as a context creator, and then so that I can get the story. So this good guy suddenly re-strategized, and he wanted to now do his own thing the way he felt he should do it, that would cause allegiance to people. So the first lesson in this first preview is that oftentimes we are very fast to condemn somebody else. They are not we just need to have a pinch of the person's position and power and what the person has. We see that we'll turn out worse than the person is. So sometimes when you pray for some things and God doesn't give you, it might be for your own benefit. Look at this guy, that was supposed to be good and dedicated, and everybody was, wowing him. That 10/12 of the nation, felt he was better than the former king. And now he has, gotten this thing. And then, so he erected this, God-like image in this new place, and God became vexed with him. So I'm going to end this first part and go to the main story. Please, just follow me. Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.